The reason that I wanted to study at Case specifically was that I wanted to make an impact in the Cleveland community. Growing up in Cleveland, it was important that when I did my career transition, that I had the opportunity to learn from experts, not only in the subject matter, but in the community as well. I spent about 10 years in the mortgage industry and had success, but what really got me thinking about switching and doing something new was my volunteer experiences in the community. And the feeling that I felt after leaving the volunteer experiences was just, compared to how I felt after work, it was just, I felt much more fulfilled. And so after a lot of thinking, I thought, why not, apply the skills that I have full-time rather than, just on a volunteer basis. One thing about the program, it's very interdisciplinary. So there's people coming from all different viewpoints. Myself, coming from a business background, really has a different viewpoint than someone who, is also studying to be a dentist. And that just makes for some really interesting conversations where you realize that public health is just a really wide topic, and constantly I have to challenge myself, ensure that I'm looking at a problem from multiple points of view, because working with different people, you realize you're usually not. My favorite project that I've worked on so far was the LACE program. It was a pilot program where students from actually lots of different disciplines came together and looked to launch a community-based program. And it was really interesting because it was one of my first experiences of doing public health in the community from the ground up. And I had the opportunity to put together a program to help students in the juvenile detention center with emotional competencies. And it was really engaging and really interesting experience to learn what those boys actually needed and what our assumptions were coming in, and how we changed from the beginning to the end of that program along with the boys. Because Case Western is so good and so expert in the field, you really get the knowledge of several years of experience, through professors and through partnerships that it would take a really long time to get on your own. And because I was making a mid-career transition, I wanted to speed up that curve, and it really was beneficial for me.